Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about Mars at 29 degrees in astrology. Now, Mars at 29 degrees in an astrology chart, this could indicate a surfeit or overabundance of energy and vitality and stamina. Now, this could be a person that may constantly thrive on combat and can't get enough combative and contentious situations, whether this may be on a conscious or subconscious level. This could also be a person that can't get enough of that masculine side of sex. The sexual urge may be extremely exorbitant. This degree could be very paradoxical, in my opinion, because the person may expend inordinate energy, really being very busy and active at times and really expending a lot of this energy, but there could be strong vacillation with this, because a lot of times if the person is expending all that energy, an inordinate amount of energy, can leave a person really drained from a vitality standpoint, and then the person, I think, may go through protracted periods of not expending energy. Now, conversely, being overly lethargic or stagnant for a protracted period can lead to much stored or latent energy, perhaps then resulting later on in excessive energy at some point. Now, Mars is action-oriented. Now, let's say somebody has Mars at 29 degrees in their natal chart. The person may not get enough action and activity in their lives. There may be this powerful need to stay very busy and active. Now, the sign, of course, can play a role as far as this Mars at 29 degrees go. Now, Mars at 29 degrees, I mean, can be it could be crisis oriented. This could be somebody that might get really constantly in combative situations. This could be crisis related as far as sexual relationships go, perhaps due to even impulsive, impetuous actions or even accidents. Now, the thing about it is, I also see, as far as 29 degrees in astrology, I see this as what I call the inveterate procrastinator degree. This could be something where, given it's 29 degrees, it's the last degree of the sign. And there may be, and that could be whether it's taking action, things that are sexually related, sexual relationships. It could be over matters that are connected with courage and fortitude and just taking action in general. Now, and the thing about this is, too, when looking at this, this could also be a lot of ambivalence and indecision as far as 29 degrees go in astrology. It could be, in this case, regarding action and how to use one's energy in terms of expending it. Where is this energy going to go? And the thing about this is, this could also be, at 29 degrees Mars, this could be a person that may be supremely assertive and aggressive at times, but then overly docile and passive the next. It could be perhaps from expending too much aggressive and forceful energy one moment, and then by doing so, by expending all that energy in being assertive, and really that assertive, aggressive, and forceful energy, the person may go through protracted periods of being more passive, more docile, not really wanting to expend that energy on as far as aggressive energy goes. Now, also too, there may be issues with the head, inflammation, sex organs, or the face. Now, again, let me go back to what I was saying before, that Mars, as far as the sign goes at 29 degrees, can impact the delineation and interpretation. Now, let's say, for example, if somebody has Mars at 29 degrees Sagittarius, this person may not be able to expend enough exuberant and enthusiastic energy, and perhaps even energy connected with outdoor-related matters. Could be sports, or it could be working out vigorously, playing basketball, something sports-related. Now, in going back to the inveterate procrastinator part of this degree, Again, this could be a person that can be late in taking action regarding things of a sexual nature, confronting somebody, things that require what could be seen as combative, confrontational situations. 29 degrees of Mars as well, I believe, can give an exceptionally, in some cases, in a very negative manifestation, very volatile and acrimonious nature, and manifested very negatively, yes, volatile and violent tendencies, I believe. Now, that person that killed the female golfer is named Colin Daniel Richards. Now, according to one online source anyway, this is based on the September 8th, 1996 birthday, is he likely has Mars at 29 degrees Cancer, depending on birth location and time, but I think in all likelihood he has it at 29 degrees Cancer. That being said, I mean, that can show, and it's also in its fall in Cancer, and I mean, at least he is the primary suspect. I don't know if they actually have that irrefutable evidence or any conviction yet, but at best of my knowledge, he is at least the primary suspect in that murder of I believe the name is Celia Barquin Eros Mera, but you can look that up. I might not have said her name 100% right, but anyway. And the thing about this is, and also interestingly enough, if that's the case, if that is his actual birth date and that is his Mars position, that would fall in that female golfer's first house in her natal chart. So you could understand how that would play as far as synastry goes. That physical body, that acrimonious energy he used, that very intensified acrimonious energy, emotional acerbic energy, I should say, being in Cancer, wound up inflicting harm on her physical body. You could see how that would play out in the synastry, because the first house, of course, can be connected with the physical body in astrology. Now, but that's based on her solar chart. I don't know her time of birth. So anyway. Also, too, this is as far as I mean, 29 degrees in astrology is, of course, is another name for it, is the Anaretic Degree. And the house that this falls in, this 29th degree of Mars, can impact and play a role in the delineation and interpretation. Now, a woman that was prominent in my life many years ago, she has her Mars at 29 degrees Cancer in her first house. Now, I'm sure on a first impression, people may have seen her as a somewhat really acerbic, acrimonious really nature. It's someone that had a acerbic, acrimonious nature, and also somebody that also had perhaps a lot of exorbitant energy injected into arguments that may arise over issues connected with ridicule and criticism, because the zodiac sign Cancer can be connected with that. And really in things that hit home, really that could really be connected with sensitive issues. She was constantly getting into arguments with storekeepers that sold food, going into fast food places. She had a number of arguments and contentious situations with those people. I think a lot of that may have had to do with that Mars in Cancer, 29 degrees, because I see the zodiac sign Cancer as at least a sign that could be connected with food. So anyway, and now another thing too is, now looking at this, I mean, and also too, going back to the sign, I mean, somebody having Mars at 29 degrees Cancer, I mean, Mars in Cancer by itself could indicate somebody that might be having a perpetual battle just for subsistence and survival needs. But you put it at 29 degrees, this could be somebody that could really have very amplified, distorted energy in terms of really just fighting, fighting a perpetual battle just to stay alive. It might be almost like in constant mode. And that person that I was describing before also has her Cancer ascendant at 29 degrees. Of course, that is another critical degree and crisis-oriented position, and she has been very peripatetic, to say the least, moving from one place to another constantly during her whole life. I have a Cancer sun, as many of you may know, but it's at 9 degrees. I've had issues with moving quite a bit, but I mean, somebody that has it at 29 degrees, that could be very amplified. So anyway, now as far as aspects go to to the Mars at 29 degrees in one's chart. If it makes predominantly positive aspects, then there is likely more positive use of this exorbitant amplified energy and vitality, and the sexual needs may be fulfilled frequently. And it could be really more about healthy debating as opposed to having contentious, acrimonious situations with others. Now, and also could give perhaps very exceptional courage, fortitude, and valor. Now, however, if it makes mainly negative aspects, adverse aspects, this could be a person that could have a very strong, exceptional, volatile, combative, and acerbic nature with very perhaps turbulent, contentious situations with others, be somebody that could have a very strong propensity to accidents, and a person that might simply be oversexed. Now, specific aspects can be important as well to this Mars at 29 degrees. Hold on a minute, people. Well, being a Cancer, I constantly need to have my water replenished, it seems like. But anyway, going back to Mars at 29 degrees Cancer. Now, as far as the aspects go, they could be important as well, as I was stating before. As far as specific ones go, let's say, for example, someone has Mars at 29 degrees and it makes a sextile or trine to their Saturn. Now, this acerbic, angry energy, very distorted angry energy, perhaps could be toned down a little and be more disciplined. And the person may just put a lot of energy into matters connected with their career, working laboriously, and really, and also in matters connected with the father and authority figures. And this would give more disciplined energy, I believe. Now, let's take another specific example. Let's say somebody has Mars at 29 degrees and it makes an adverse aspect to their natal Uranus. Let's say it makes a square, in conjunct, or even an opposition to it. Now, this might be somebody that might have very amplified, frequent, unpredictable, unusual angry outbursts. It could be an exceptionally angry nature that could be expressed regarding freedom and independence issues, and really doing maybe very outlandish, unpredictable things that have a lot of anger that is associated with it. Now, let's go to as far as in predictive astrology. Well, Mars at 29 degrees could be the end of a contentious battle or situation. It could be the end of a sexual connection or situation, or the culmination or completion perhaps of something that required tremendous energy and vitality. Let's say if it was Mars in Taurus at 29 degrees, it could be something that required exorbitant energy, but a lot of exorbitant latent energy, and strong, which required a lot of persistence and methodical energy as well. Now, also, this could be something, Mars at 29 degrees, again, in predictive astrology. Another thing this could mean could be something that was causing acrimony and anger may come to an end. Let's say, for example, let's say somebody has transit Mars at 29 degrees Aquarius hitting their 6th house. Now, as this is an example, this could be something connected with astrology, electronics, computers, innovation, that may be work related, that may come to an end, that required a lot of energy to complete. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for Mars at 29 degrees in astrology. Stay tuned next time where I'll be talking about Jupiter at 29 degrees in astrology. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.